Good Morning Carolinas starts now. Here's what's breaking.
I signed the statewide emergency declaration in anticipation of Tropical Storm Gordon's landfall.
Tropical Storm Gordon is gaining strength and bearing down on the Gulf Coast.
People in Gordon's path are preparing for what looks like could be the first hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. this year. Gordon is a tropical storm right now, but it's expected to gain strength as it moves away from Florida's coast and back out into the warm waters this morning.
Storm did cause some serious flooding and beach erosion across the Keys in South Florida last night. Let's go ahead and track Gordon now to see when it could make landfall.
We begin our team coverage this Tuesday morning with meteorologist Zach Covey, who's been tracking Gordon's path.
All right, well, the convection of Gordon continues to be a little bit lopsided, and here's what's going on. First off, you can see all this convection kind of on the north side of the center of circulation, which is right there. Now, this is all due to wind shear coming in from the southwest, shearing those cloud tops to the north side of that center of circulation. But despite that, Gordon's still a very strong tropical storm with winds of 65 miles per hour. Now, the hurricane hunters are headed out there now. We'll get some live data coming up in about an hour. Storm surge warnings are in effect for New Orleans, Gulfport, Louisiana, as well as Biloxi, Mississippi. Storm surge watches also in effect, mainly for storm surge 3 to 5 feet, maybe in some isolated locations as high as 7 feet. Again, the tropical alert still under a hurricane warning. We're talking Gulfport and Biloxi, Mississippi, as well as Mobile, Alabama. Residents along the Gulf Coast need to prepare for hurricane conditions. Matt and Crystal.
You just saw the warnings there. Get ready for flooding and evacuations. That is the message from officials across several Gulf states this morning.
Both Louisiana and Mississippi are under states of emergency right now. In New Orleans this morning, the mayor is already telling people they should evacuate. The National Hurricane Center is warning of a life-threatening storm surge. CNN's Andy Rose shows us how people are preparing.
The leading edge of Gordon is moving away from southern Florida, but the red warning flags are out on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, just as Governor Phil Bryant declares an emergency in preparation for the storm's arrival. Many residents targeted by the storm are already filling sandbags.
I'm just going for the safe part versus sorry.
And from the Gulfport Harbor to Dauphin Island, Alabama, the threat of punishing wind and the potential for major flooding is looming on the horizon. Even cities further inland are concerned.
If we get 5 inches in a short period of time, we have a serious problem in here.
In Baton Rouge a few weeks ago, a single pop-up shower caused big flooding because drainage pumps were down. City officials say they're working to prevent a much bigger problem from the impending tropical weather.
We're going and checking the storm drains and things like that to make sure that there's no debris that would back things up.
Louisiana's governor also put his state under an emergency declaration, and the mayor of New Orleans is asking their most vulnerable residents to be ready to evacuate.
Please check on family, neighbors, pets, friends. Together, we're ready for Gordon.
Getting ready by preparing for the worst. I'm Andy Rose reporting.
And when severe weather strikes, ABC 15, you can depend on us with our up-to-the-minute weather information in our app. And you can track hurricanes as well in that app. Download the weather app for 24/7 weather alerts on the go. Just go to your app store and search WPDE WX.
This morning, we are hearing from the family of an off-duty police officer killed trying to break up a fight in Murrells Inlet. 21-year-old Kelton Todd from Aner is free on bond right now. He's facing aggravated assault charges, and more charges could be coming. Investigators in Georgetown County say Todd threw that punch that killed 42-year-old South Windsor Police Sergeant Matthew Maneri in Uncle Tito's parking lot Saturday night. Maneri was here visiting the Grand Strand last week from West Windsor, Connecticut. His family back home is devastated.
We're in Vermont. We got a call at 2:30 in the morning saying that we had to come down here as soon as possible. And then when we walked in, they just came in and said that he's brain dead. There's no oxygen to his brain.
Sergeant Maneri's family is outraged. The man police say is responsible is already out on bond. They plan to cremate the 20-year decorated police veteran and donate his organs.
Police in Latta are investigating an armed robbery at the Quick Shop at the corner of South Richardson and Lightner Streets, that is. Investigators say the suspect was wearing a hoodie covering his face during Sunday night's robbery. Officers are looking for surveillance video from the store and surrounding businesses. A man is out of a hospital and in jail this morning after investigators say he shot at a deputy's patrol car in Marlboro County. Deputies say 25-year-old Camlyn McCrae approached them on a riding lawnmower early yesterday morning while they were investigating a break-in at the Tiger Mart on Highway 9. They say he fired a shot, hitting a Marlboro County Sheriff's car. 2 Clio police officers fired back, hitting McCrae. McCrae is charged with 3 counts of attempted murder and second-degree burglary for the break-in at the Tiger Mart.
In political news this Tuesday, some Democrats believe they have a shot at one of the Republican Party's anchor states this November. Georgia could make history by electing the nation's first black female governor. Democratic candidate Stacey Abrams has been making some headway in what's been a red state for many years. She says the struggle for office is highly representative of the nation's problems.
We're in a divisive moment, and there is a great deal of concern about whether we're going to continue to stand for the values that have made us a strong country.
President Trump is backing Abrams' Republican opponent, Brian Kemp. Political analysts say they are watching this election closely as an indication for what could happen in 2020. Experts say win or lose, President Trump will be a deciding factor in this race.
President Donald Trump is again criticizing Attorney General Jeff Sessions, this time over the indictments of 2 Republican lawmakers. In New York, prosecutors have indicted Representative Chris Collins on insider trader charges, and California Congressman Duncan Hunter from California is accused of stealing $250,000 from campaign funds. President Trump tweeted, "2 easy wins now in doubt because there is not enough time. Good job, Jeff." And President Trump is also warning he could get involved in the Mueller investigation, quote, if he has to. He's threatened to fire the special prosecutor in the past, but former prosecutors say if he gets involved, the president could open another set of problems and face accusations of interfering with an investigation if he were to take any action. Mueller's biographer, Garrett Graff, believes even if the threat was real, it wouldn't register.
This unprecedented historic investigation is probably only the 3rd hardest job that Bob Mueller has ever done.
And Garrett Graff says Mueller has a history of tense job roles, including leading the FBI and earning medals for bravery during the Vietnam War. Analysts say Mueller's next focus may be Roger Stone or a member of President Trump's family. Proof small steps can really add up. We'll tell you just how big of an impact the move to go strawless had on the Grand Strand this summer.
It's National Wildlife Day, and we're celebrating here at SC Cares. Coming up, we'll show you a brand new place for these beautiful birds. Stick with us.
And that sea breeze is still likely later on today. I'll tell you who has the best chance of seeing one of those showers and storms in their neighborhood. That's still ahead. First, let's take a look at the beach and boating.
Your first warning weather with meteorologist Zach Covey.
All right, a live look here in North Myrtle Beach. And yes, as we continue into the month of September, our nights getting just a little bit longer. Don't worry, December will be here before you know it, and then our days will get longer. I don't know, it's a trade-off, right? You're in December, but the days will get long. I don't know, who knows? Personally, I'm excited about winter, so I'm counting down the days. 72 in Hartsville, 75 in Florence, 75 Kingstree, 76 there in Myrtle Beach, 72 in Marion and Conway, as well as right there along the border belt from Laurinburg through Whiteville. Take a look at your morning forecast. 73 this morning inland, 77 along the Grand Strand. In just about an hour, that will be the average. We'll be warming up to around 80 degrees around 9 a.m. And then look at that by noon, 87 inland, 84 along the Grand Strand. Keep in mind these partly cloudy skies, that's cirrus clouds coming from the outflow of Tropical Storm Gordon. Don't worry, Gordon's not headed here. We're not going to see any rain or wind from Gordon, but we are at least getting some upper level cloud cover from it. Those partly cloudy skies will continue throughout the remainder of the day. And again, the afternoon sea breeze, about a 20% chance of a shower or storm, primarily along the coastal regions. That means by the time the kids get off of school, the sea breeze may be rolling into your neighborhood. You'll notice those partly cloudy skies staying with us throughout the day. There's that northeasterly flow bringing on some onshore moisture there along coastal portions of Horry and Georgetown County around the 12 to 1 o'clock hour. Moving through neighborhoods out towards Kingstree, Myrtle Beach, Socastee, Carolina Forest, Conway all have a shot of seeing a shower or storm today. And then by the 5 p.m. hour, as that sea breeze begins to approach Florence and Marion counties, Dillon counties, Darlington as well, it begins to erode itself away. Again, dry air in the mid and upper levels really doing a number at trying to keep that sea breeze from going too far inland, despite this persistent easterly flow, which typically would bring it to Darlington County. So it's a trade-off. I'm not 100% certain that residents west of the 95 corridor, or even in Florence County for that matter, may see a shower or storm today. It's going to be hard-pressed. Your best shot right there along the Intracoastal Waterway and portions of coastal Horry and Georgetown counties. So high temps today, upper 80s to low 90s, a 20 to 30% shot of rain showers. It's rinse and repeat for the next week, basically, as high pressure just continues to sit here. So summer most certainly not ending anytime soon. Matt and Crystal.
SC Cares in Georgetown has a brand new big home for its macaws.
That is where we find ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth live this morning, hanging out with the macaws. Good morning.
Good morning, that's right. Yeah, this is great. A nice new home, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it and who's in here.
Well, these are our rescued macaws. They're indigenous to Central and South America. And all these birds have been brought in by their previous owners. And we try to get them out of a cage and into a little freer area where they can fly if they want to. A couple of them have discovered that they can fly because they didn't know at the time.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, well, it's pretty amazing, and it looks like a lot of fun in there with all the different spots that they can go.
It is, and they climb around like Morgan is here. And they're still trying to figure out where they're going to wind up. So it's they're sort of pairing off. The ones that get along with each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had some screaming and some bickering, but other than that, it's gone pretty smoothly.
Well, as in any home,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
And so, who is this over here?
This is Morgan.
Okay.
Morgan and Stacy up there. They came to us as from one owner, and the missing feathers is from stress. It's a nervous habit, like people biting their fingernails and all that stuff.
Well, hopefully all that will go away, and Morgan just, wants her chance on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, you little.
Back to you.
Oh, she's so pretty. Now they have all that space 5 years later. You can learn much more about how you can help or just the facility in general at sc-cares.org.
Supreme Court showdown. The battle over President Trump's Supreme Court nominee will kick off today. We'll tell you why healthcare could play a pivotal role in Brett Kavanaugh's appointment hearings. Welcome back. The Strand Strawless Summer Campaign, where some restaurants only gave you a straw if you asked for one, is officially over.
ABC 15 Investigates decided to figure out how much plastic was actually conserved, and based on phone calls to managers and a little math, we figure the campaign saved about 9 million straws. To put it in perspective, it would weigh 8,000 pounds, the same as 3 small cars. Organizers with the Chirping Bird Society say they're not even finished.
We wanted to see how many people would participate. It was, again, an educational piece to see if the want and will was there.
The society is transitioning to the Sensational Strawless Strand campaign, which will take that straw-free movement into fall and winter. If you'd like more information or to see which restaurants are participating, head to WPDE.com.
All right, Labor Day might have been yesterday, but just because the unofficial end of summer's happened doesn't mean it's not still hot outside. Look at Finnegan trying to beat the heat, hopping in the pool with his little goggles and his little pool toy there. Finnegan, absolutely a great day to hop back in the pool today, I believe. Here's a look at your dog walking forecast. We're dealing with partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Temperatures in the 70s this morning, warming up into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees later on this afternoon. Still only a 20% chance of a shower storm, primarily from the sea breeze. Finnegan, you're a cute one.
Time now for ABC 15 News Ways on-time traffic. Sponsored by Johnny Gardner Law Group.
It is time to get back in the routine this morning, and as far as your roads go, all's clear for your Tuesday morning commute.
A former Gamecock star and her coach reunited, while USC coach Dawn Staley and WNBA star and former Gamecock A'ja Wilson are back on the court in Columbia.
In this morning's GMA First Look, he played the ever-optimistic Elvin, Cliff and Claire Huxtable's dutiful son-in-law on The Cosby Show, infamous for wearing his emotions on his sleeve. But this morning, 26 years after The Cosby Show went off the air, Jeffrey Owens is back in the news, all because a woman shopping at Trader Joe's snapped photos of him working at a New Jersey grocery store. Many on social media are seeing it as a form of job shaming and coming to Owens' defense. Athlete-turned-actor Terry Crews writing, "I swept floors after the NFL if need be. I'd do it again. Good, honest work is nothing to be ashamed of." Patricia Heaton, who hit it big on Everybody Loves Raymond, tweeting, "Why is this news? When I worked on 30-something, I was also summarizing depositions to pay my rent." And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll talk to Jeffrey Owens in an exclusive interview. With your GMA First Look, I'm Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New York.
Well, good morning, everyone. The 2018 USA Basketball Women's National Team Camp kicked off yesterday in Columbia as they get set for 3 exhibition games under the direction of Gamecock head coach Dawn Staley. Now, a few of her current and former products are camp attendees, including current Las Vegas Ace A'ja Wilson, who, as we know, is coming off a huge rookie season in the WNBA. Now, Wilson has seen her share of successes in this basketball season, and she's just happy to see her former collegiate coach getting recognized for the game as well.
I'm so happy for Coach through it all and everything that she does for this game, and the game's repaying her in such a positive way. So I'm just so happy to be out here with her. I'm excited just to be out for just her, to see her out here. Of course, you see her on the assistant coach side, but just for her to be the head coach and implement her brain and her basketball IQ into USA system, it's a lot of fun.
Now, the PGA Tour laboring on this Monday for the final round of the Dell Technologies Championship, the second of 4 events in the FedEx Cup playoffs, and Bryson DeChambeau becoming the only golfer behind Vijay Singh to win the first to FedEx Cup playoffs events. Now, DeChambeau closed with a 4 under 67 for a 2-shot victory on the TPC Boston. He started the season at number 99 in the world and has since skipped over to number 7. Talk about heating up at the right time. They move on to Pennsylvania for the BMW Championships next weekend. Well, that'll do it for your quick check of sports this morning. Join us back here tonight at 6. Brendan Dunn will be back in the saddle with the day's top sports stories. Have a great day, everyone.
A woman in New Mexico went into premature labor after surviving a deadly bus crash.
Yeah, the scary situation started when a semi slammed into Christy Westerdale's bus last Thursday. The crash killed 8 people and injured dozens of other people there. Thankfully, though, Christy and her newborn twins are doing just fine. She and her boyfriend were headed back to California with her 4-year-old daughter when the crash sent Christy into early labor. In the middle of all that chaos there, Chandler says the passengers became first responders.
Just the teamwork and the heroes that came out of the bus, their faces were all bloody and just messed up, but they've seen that other people were affected more, so they helped. There was so much help going on,
Westerdale was taken to a hospital where she delivered her twins. She gave birth to a boy and a girl 2 months before their due date, each weighing in 3 pounds. Still ahead, the Gulf Coast bracing for what looks like to be the first hurricane of the season, how strong Tropical Storm Gordon could be when it hits, and where some folks are already evacuating.